All right, good morning, everybody. Coming to you live from Vass, North Carolina. All right, this week we're going to focus on going into Franklin and what that provides. So, if you remember last week, if you follow my little hand here, I stopped right up on this ridge line, just prior, about 1.5 miles, 2 miles prior to Franklin, North Carolina. And I stopped and I was going to do a Nero into Franklin. Not much to talk about trail-wise today, other than this is a nice, slow, smooth downhill into Winding Stair Gap. Part of my video, I will be down at Winding Stair Gap. One cool thing that I remember about waiting there for Zen to come pick me up from Goodard's Grove Hostel was there's a big PVC pipe coming out of the side of the hill down there, and it's just an amazing flow of water, a flow rate coming out of that pipe. So I remember when I was waiting there, you had the opportunity to A, to refill some water and get hydrated before you go into town, or B, I cleaned off my shoes and some other stuff, which you have to do when you get to the hostel anyway, so save me some time there. Other than that, everybody can see that Winding Stair Gap is mile 109.5. I will take a Nero into Franklin this day and get back on the trail the next morning. And you can see Franklin is 10 miles east. So when you get to a gap and you see a bold name like Franklin, a city name, it's going to tell you how far that town is and which direction that you need to turn, either east or west off the trail. So Franklin's 10 east, which means you're going to need a ride in there. Probably an easy hitch, I would imagine, but that is on a highway, and people are freaking hauling down that road. So don't know how easy it is to hitch there, but definitely not somewhere you want to walk to. Something else I wanted to show you guys. So let me turn this page real quick. I need to start doing this more. Sorry, drinking some coffee. These are the pages in the AWOL's AT guide that explains what's in each town. So I know for my planning purposes, Franklin, North Carolina tells you where you can intersect, or where the trail intersects a road to get into that town, and then it gives you the services. So for Franklin, I stayed at Goodard Grove, an adventure hostel. I don't know what the adventure is, but maybe Zen, the guy who owns it, is the adventure of the hostel. I'll explain that in a minute. But it gives you everything that these places have. So the Havens Budget Inn and Baltimore Jack's Place Hostel, that is basically a budget inn hotel. Man, it is. I'm glad I chose Goodard Grove. I'll just leave it at that. Some people have stayed here and had good experiences. Some people have stayed here and not had good experiences. It's up to you. What I do know is Goodard's Grove, Zen will take care of you. Yeah, and the good thing about most of these places are, even if you don't have great cell coverage, all these guys text. Zen, I texted him one day and he texted me back within about a minute, and we had a pickup time in sight. He explained to me via text how all of it works. It was easy hookup. There are some other options here in Franklin: Sapphire Inn, Microtel Inn, Comfort Inn. If y'all have stayed anywhere else but Goodard Grove and want to comment, giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down or explaining it, please do so. Outdoor 76, this is their outfitter right downtown Franklin. I went here several times. They have some really good kit inside this store. So check that out. They also have a brewery in there, it says. I don't remember. There's also Three Eagles Outfitters. I don't remember that. I didn't go there. Don't know if it was open when I was in town there, because I was there pretty early in the season. And then other things you'll see, Macon County Transit, when this is open. So you'll see February 27th to May 26th, it starts the pickups from Winding Stair Gap. So if you don't want to stay at these places, or if you just want to get there, you can wait on the bus. The bus will bring you into Franklin. Man, what a freaking awesome thing. Well done, Macon County. I was there just a tad bit early, and this was indicative of my entire through hike, to where I was getting somewhere just before they open up for the season. So just keep that in mind when you're starting early. Things like this aren't going to exist, but there's usually, especially down in the south, there's usually enough hostels or whatnot that'll come get you for free with a stay. So, and then here you'll just see some other shuttle options all the way down. All right, y'all. So we're going to switch over to video. All right, y'all, get the video started. It is the morning of day 8. It's 5:30. I've been up for a little while packing up or just being lazy, to be honest with you, reading y'all's comments. I tell you, I knew having a channel up and vlogging would be, it would help with the motivation, and it truly has. So appreciate all of you commenting. Your questions, your well wishes, all of it means something, so I appreciate it. I'll try to answer as much as I can when I can. A lot of times at a shelter, man, a lot of you know anyway, that you don't have a single bar of service. And then at other times, like last night, I had 5 bars of 4G LTE, so I was able to upload those last 2 videos before I get into town today, so I don't have to spend time doing that. So many things to talk about this week. But what I was realizing on the trail right here is how much this blogging channel was starting to mean to me, how much it helped motivate me in the mornings to get up and get moving. The earlier I got up, the more comments I could read from you guys, which just fueled the fire for that day of motivation. So here's what I'd suggest to anybody that's going to do a through hike next year and you're debating whether to vlog or not. And yes, there's other options. You can do Facebook, you can do Instagram, you can do both, you can do all 3 to include blogging. But only one social media, only one type of social media will let the viewer go with you, and that's blogging. And the rewards that come back to you, I can't even express what it meant to me the whole time, but it was just crazy. And as this community grew, it just caught fire. And I'll be honest with you, like I'm watching some people right now that have under 1,000 subscribers, but the comments on there are just fabulous and no less motivating than a vlogger that has, like, if you look at Dixie right now on the PCT, she's got 30,000 subscribers or some mess. And if you read the comments, when those that have under 1,000, they're still just as motivating and still will fuel that fire just as much to get up and get moving and enjoy the day and share your experience with other people. So, man, I would lean towards vlogging if you can. And everybody gets overwhelmed thinking it's going to be really hard technically. It's really not hard technically. Every phone has thousands of apps that you can use to create videos. And man, it's easy to do. And again, the rewards come back to you 20, 30, 100-fold. So anyway, keep that in mind. Pack up here. Well, actually, first, I'm going to eat some oatmeal, drink some coffee, and then pack up, head into town. Gotta meet the owner of Gooders Grove, not Goodies Grove, but Gooders Grove Hostel. He's gonna pick me up at 8:30 down at Winding Stair Gap, which is only about another 1.5 miles from where I'm at. Yeah, I don't know how much filming I'll do in town today. We'll see. Again, I like being on the This is where I started struggling with being the introvert and having a lot of extroverts commenting on the channel, wanting to see some things. Because I asked, hey, what do you guys want to see? And should have known better, because I knew the extroverts would come out and say, hey, man, I want to see some interaction with some people. And knowing that wasn't going to be my comfort zone. So if you are filming on the trail, just be you. Film what you're comfortable with filming. Everybody will adjust to you because they're going to enjoy you being authentic. So something I learned the hard way on the trail. But in the end, man, it was fun, and I did get to interact with some people and got them on camera, more so than I thought I would. But again, you just got to be you and be authentic. And the idea is to get there before, hopefully, a lot of the spring breakers. I know it probably ain't going to happen. I wouldn't mind catching a little snow up there just to maybe push people away. But staying at crowded shelters and having to sort that out probably ain't going to be near as bad as what everybody thinks it is before they get there. It was just something I dread dealing with.
Anyway, hope everybody's having a good
Don't know what got me on the subject of crowds and spring breakers because I knew college spring break was about to start right here, but it is as bad as you can imagine at a lot of shelters to where there are literally hundreds of people around the shelter trying to use one privy or the shelter.
wanted to
So
say. Everything's wet, and this is those times you gotta love on the trail. When everything you're putting on is wet and damp, cold. So for those of you who are thinking about doing a through hike or coming up next year or whatever, and you want to practice, just go get your shirt and your pants and anything else you're putting on damp the night before, and then go stick it in the refrigerator, and then wake up and put that on, and that'll start getting you prepared mentally. Because luckily I have years of having to do it before this, so it ain't that big of a deal, but it ain't never fun. All right, out. One thing, all these things keep crossing my mind after reading the comments last night. And I don't know,
this is where I
stayed in
go.
town, so
Hold on.
I don't know when I'll post this one, but people.
All right, I just want to capture some things on that last point about putting clothes in a refrigerator. Obviously, a little facetious there, but it is a technique you can use. But I want to bring up more so how do you prep for a through hike? And should be an ongoing conversation. We're not going to solve this in 1 week. But here's what I would offer is what you got to figure out before you leave, or what are the things to you personally that are going to pull you to the dark side of thought during your through hike. And I will tell you, when it's colder out, and even in the summer, it's rough, but especially when it's cold out and you got to wake up and put on damp clothes that are freezing, man, that can pull you to the dark side of thought real quick and make you question, what are you doing out here? Like, why, if you can go home and put on warm clothes every day and be warm, would you sit out here and put on cold, damp clothes every morning? I remember some comments came back, hey man, if you just stick your wet clothes in the bottom of your sleep system, they'll dry out. Um, I, with every ounce of my being, I would suggest that you not do that, because all you do then is add humidity and moisture to your sleep system, which makes sleeping even worse because now everything inside there is humid versus one of the best things about it being cold outside is there's no humidity. When humidity started building in later in my hike, I hated it. So this is just my suggestion. Do not add humidity and wet stuff inside your sleep system. Some people say, hey man, put your clothes in a gallon Ziploc bag and then put them in your sleep system. You know, that works. They'll be a little bit warmer when you put them on, but they ain't going to be a lot warmer. So to me, that's just a bunch of energy I didn't waste expending, and I just put the damn clothes on wet and go from there. It's just a miserable thing. But the takeaway there is, what are you doing during your practice sessions to mimic the conditions on the trail? And if you're experiencing a lot of miserable things for the first time while you're on the trail, that dark side of thought's going to come up really quick. So the goal is, when you're practicing, try to mimic all those situations that are going to drag you down to the dark side of thought, and learn how to deal with them beforehand so you don't experience them for the first time on the trail. It's amazing how well you can get over things quicker when they're not the first time. I'll leave it at that.
Or like, are you in a rush? Are you in some kind of time constraint? Is that why you're trying to move so fast? And honestly, yes and no. I have till August, which is more than enough time. I know. I want to spend July 4th with my family, so I'd like to be done by then. But really, man, this is just me. I don't know what you're supposed to slow down to do. Are you supposed to slow down to see shelters and stay with people? Like, I don't. It's funny to me. Everybody has their own reasons they're out on the trail. Remember that. And mine are, I love walking. I love hiking. I don't blow by any vista not to look at it because I'm trying to hurry. My body can move, man. So my left knee's hurting a little bit this morning, so I'm going to go into town, do some recovery on it, and get it right again. And if my body needs to slow down, I'll slow down. But again, I would open the conversation up for everybody because each person's different. Man, I'm a high introvert. So it's interesting, and it might be interesting or not interesting if you're sorry about that, if you're a extrovert. You know, my videos may in the end frustrate you because I'm not going to do a lot of interacting with people.
All right, going back down the introvert extrovert role. But the takeaway from the first part of that is, And this may be one of the more important takeaways for a through hike or hiking in general. And I will tell you, Disciple on Not By Sight, um, he's vlogging right now and he is up in the White Mountains right now, but he just did a few days ago, he just posted some thoughts on this, and I thought they were really succinct and really well stated. But you got to hike your own hike. I know that phrase is very beat and the most used phrase out on the trail, but it's so true. So let's talk about the speed of your hike. So here's what Early Riser's telling you. You need to set your own pace and don't try to validate it to everyone that you pass. And don't be embarrassed if you're going slow. And don't be over boisterous if you're going fast. Just do what's comfortable for you and then tune out all the chaff that's around you, all the extra noise. That's the problem with logging sometimes. Everybody's seeing how fast you're going and like, hey man, why don't you slow down? You ain't enjoying the trail. It's funny how people make all these assumptions. That's a deeper internal problem. Let's not say a problem, but just some things those people are probably dealing with on a personal level, and they can't remove themselves from their own drama in their lives to maybe see the positives that you're experiencing in your life. So anyway, I didn't say that as well as I wanted to, but this is important. And then the second point, and kind of what Disciple was saying, is be proud of what you're doing. Don't question what others are doing. Don't think that you got to apologize because you're going slow. He was saying, yes, a lot of people that are only doing 10 or 12 try to make excuses or apologize for it. Man, 10 or 12 miles on the Appalachian Trail is freaking amazing. So just be proud of what you're doing and understand that as long as you've got the plan and you can get to where you need to get to in the time that you've allotted, you're doing fine. You're doing great. And don't try to, and for those who can only do 10 or 12 miles a day, and other guys can do 20 to 25 to 30 to 50, like the guy who's about to break the record right now, man, don't try to bring them back to your reality either, saying that they're not enjoying the trail like you are because they're going faster. Again, we're only moving about 2.2 to 2.5 miles an hour on our best days. And again, I invite you to go outside in your neighborhood, walk 2.5 miles. Sorry, I'm going to pause that real quick. Walk 2.5 miles an hour around your neighborhood and tell me what you miss. I can promise you when you get back to your house, if you recorded everything, writing it down or whatever, you won't have missed one single view, one single house, one single tree if you want to look at it. 2 miles an hour is freaking slow. So just keep that in mind. I think that horse is dead enough, but hike your own hike your own speed, and be proud of what you're doing out there. All right, moving on.
Touch it. Offer my gratitude. Thankful for that I get another day, at least walking a couple of miles this morning before I head into town, and I can't wait to get back tomorrow. Down to
All right, so that was the first time where I did the first blaze, what later became a fist bump. But what I would suggest here is, and what I found out early on, a way to get your mind right in the mornings, no matter how good or bad your day's going up to that point. Because some days you just wake up and you ain't into it. You just don't feel like walking the Appalachian Trail. You just want to stay in your sleeping bag. But what I'd offer is find a little personal way to pause each morning and realize what you're doing is magical. For me, it became the fist bump on that first white blaze. It just put my mind back in the perspective it needed to be in, and realize that what I'm doing on that day is magical, and amazed that I had the opportunity to do it. On a grander scale, I would say don't just think about that that isn't just for people who are walking the trail, but man, you can do that every day in your life right now, no matter what you're doing. And sometimes I just bring myself back to perspective and realize that I'm just one human out of 7 billion humans that are walking this earth. And this earth is nothing but a rock floating out in the middle of nowhere. So at times I'm just amazed. I'm amazed that I get to wake up every morning and get to be with my family and get to experience the things that the day holds. So find that magic in your own life and offer some gratitude towards it, and it will change your perspective. I'll fast forward this a little bit because this is where I'm singing some country and I can't listen to it.
Nitro, he just
Let me
coming.
rewind this a little
Winding
bit.
stair gap. I got about an hour probably before my ride comes. I'll just watch these cars blowing by here and the madness, and everybody's in a hurry, and that's why I don't want to go into town, because I don't want to be a part of it. I want to climb back up there and stay in the woods where those realities don't exist.
All right, so hey, this is Nitro, a guy from Florida. Yeah, back to this is where the Matrix, the reality of the Matrix started sinking in a lot to me as I made it down to this place. And these cars were just zipping by. It was a weekday, so everybody was going to work. And you just look at their faces as they go by, and they're just so lost in their thoughts of what's going on that they're, to me, it just, the assumption is they're just missing all this beauty because they're so lost in what the day's gonna hold instead of where they're at the time. So anyway, this is where the idea of the Matrix started building, and it started becoming miserable walking out of the woods and re-injecting into the world that way. There's obviously good things about it too, food, showers, and all that. But there's no better feeling than walking back up in the woods and leaving it behind when you leave.
Already did resupply at Ingles and the Dollar General, which are right beside each other, which is good. And then downtown, Franklin's decent. It's got some good eateries. Outdoor 76 stores right there downtown, just about a quarter of a mile, half a mile away. So pretty good. Went there and got some fuel today. I'm going to go back up there and look around one more time, see if I need anything else I can't live without. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and post this video for today, and then kick off day 9 tomorrow. Deuces. Everybody, it's the end of day number 8. Walking back to the hostel, just went and ate it.
So Franklin, North Carolina, man, really like this town. If you look right up here, Goodard's Grove is right behind this tree line, right where my arrow is right here. So it's a pretty steep climb up this hill, but he's got a prime position. Town is right behind me, right at the top of the hill that I'm walking down. So it's a pretty good place. Outdoor 76 store, bought some farm to feet or earth to feet socks. No, it's farm to feet socks, I think. For those who were following me early on know how much I love these socks. You just can't find them the farther north that you get. I don't think I saw them again past Virginia, so I would just highly recommend people trying out farm to feet socks. They're made here in North Carolina. They have a lifetime warranty, just like Darn Tough does, and a really good, comfortable sock. All right, y'all, so that's it for the week. I'm going to cover more about Zen and the Goodard's Grove Hostel next week. I talk about it a lot as we kick back out of Winding Stair Gap, heading northbound to the NOC. Again, if I get the energy this week, I will definitely try to do another video like this before next week. Usually I run out of energy due to work or whatnot. That's it for the week. I appreciate everybody continuing to follow along. I try to keep current events out of these videos, whether it's people's personal problems or my personal problems or news events or whatever, because hopefully these events can be long standing, and hopefully 3 years from now, people can still watch these videos as they prep for their through hikes and get some value out of them. So what I'm trying not to do is interrupt those trains of thought with some current event problems. So anyway, don't think that I'm blind or callous to people who are requesting, hey, can you bring this up during your next video? It's just I'm trying to keep these videos as focused as possible to help the through hiker. And I'll try to use another medium or whatnot, Facebook or whatnot, to do the other things people need or feel like I need to help people out with. All right, y'all. I hope everybody's the end of the weekend's good. Stay in the balcony tomorrow on Matrix Monday. If you don't know what I mean, go back and watch some of my videos and follow my journey so you can move through those thought processes with us. All right, y'all. Deuces.